If you could have a guide, someone to help you tell your story, give you the tools to reach your ideal customer, lead you to living your dreams and turning a profit, would you follow it? Everyone, every passion has a place in this world, and each has the potential to be unstoppable. It's time to buckle up and tune in to your personal strategist, life purpose coach and marketing maven, Lindy Chaffin Start.
Welcome, everyone, and a big welcome to our brand new host here on Inspired Choices Network, Lindy Chaffin Start. Welcome, Lindy, to your show.
Thank you, Christine. Oh, my gosh, this is so exciting, and thank you, everybody, for being here.
Oh, my gosh, it is so exciting. I can feel the energy. It's just popping. So for all of you listening, I am Christine McIver. I am the owner and CEO of Inspired Choices Network, and I have the honor and privilege of welcoming Lindy to her show. And sometimes what's fun is the very first show, I'll interview the hosts so we can all get to know them a little bit better. So we are going to jump into the show. And Lindy, at any time, if there's anything you want to share with the listeners, please do so. For all of you listening, if you would like to ask Lindy a question, you can do so by calling in the U.S. The number is 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. And you know what? You may not have a question. Maybe you just want to give her a whoop whoop, and you can call in and do that. Or you can also come over to the chat room at Inspired Choices Network, and you can be making your comments and questions right there. We make it easy for you to connect with our hosts. So without further ado, let's jump into today's show. So today's show is about becoming unstoppable. What does becoming unstoppable mean to you? Lindy Chaffin Start is the owner and creative director at Unstoppable Start Studios. She didn't become unstoppable until she got started. Lindy, I got to tell you, I love that statement. When I read that the first time, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just like, it's so important, which I just wanted to let you know that. For her inaugural show, yeah, right? Inspired Choices Network, myself, is going to ask her intimate questions revealing why this hometown girl turned marketing maven endeavors to lift up and inspire other boutique business owners to become unstoppable. Now, Lindy lives her life on purpose, using her talents as a marketer, boutique business owner, certified life coach, purpose coach, author, and radio show host to lead other small business owners to realize their dreams by putting their passions and advertisings to work. Throughout her career, Lindy has consistently expanded upon her strengths and taken time to realize her weaknesses. She lives her passions daily, and by letting go of the tasks at which she is less skilled, she embodies the lessons she imparts by living a purposeful, joyful life. In doing so, she brings her support of small business full circle. Lindy believes everyone, every passion has a place in this world and the potential to be shared and even sold. By providing insight into today's marketing and advertising strategies and sharing her own personal experiences growing her boutique agency to a national firm, she endeavors to help others realize their potential, face their fears, and design a successful life and business that both fulfills their dreams and turns a profit. Amen to that. Lindy challenges you to think outside the box with lessons you can apply to life and business. She will guide you to a well-designed, balanced life. Are you ready to be unstoppable? Hell yes. You can connect with Lindy at unstoppablestart.com. And, oh my gosh, I just love that. And Lindy, so out of everything that I read just now in your bio, what's the one thing that other people jump out and say, oh my gosh, yes, when they hear all about you and what you do?
Hire a brilliant copywriter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. Well, it's true. I think, in all honesty, Christine, when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of everything I know and everything I do, and how I became unstoppable. It's just about pushing through the pain and the fear and making it happen. That's it. That's it.
Right.
You sit down, you write the copy. You told me that when we got ready to start all this. You said just sit down, make a task list, and do it, right? It's what you do. It's the only way to keep going every day. Yep.
Right.
Small steps.
And so you've had, I'm sure, and I mean, you and I have connected a couple of times, but I don't know you super, super well yet.
Sure.
But I imagine that you've had a big journey of your own where, you know, one of the things that I've learned listening to so many people and in my experience is we often teach what we've experienced.
Sure.
So I'm sure that you've experienced a number of things in your life that has had you, challenged you, invited you into being unstoppable.
Of course.
What is the one big thing for you that has invited you into being unstoppable in your business? What's one thing you'd like to share with us right now?
The one big thing that has pushed me into being unstoppable in my business. Oh, wow. What is that one big thing? Well, I'll tell you the story of how my business got started. How about I do that?
Awesome.
That might help answer a few questions. Yeah. So my daddy, when I was little, always told me I'd be unstoppable if I could get started. And round about 2006, I married my daughter's dad, whose last name was Start. And I thought, well, I've gotten started. And it became a big joke. Well, as any couple does, we faced our challenges. And one of those challenges was that when my daughter was born, we decided that I would stay home and raise her while he worked. And after that became old hat, he wanted me to go back to work. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to do something about this. So instead of going back into corporate, I started freelancing. And when that wasn't good enough and he decided to leave, where that left me was really getting started, getting down to the nuts and bolts and facing the fear. And it was going to be have a mortgage in my name with no job, no real job other than freelancing, and a 3-year-old at home to raise and no help, or it was going to be tackling it and just doing it. Just do it. Just do it. And that's what I did. So I branded his name because that's what you do. You become the unstoppable start you are. And I started taking classes and I started learning more about the things that I have loved my whole life. And part of that has been advertising. And I plugged through it all. I managed to survive the divorce, start my own business. My child's now 11. Both of parents went through prolonged illnesses and passed within a couple of years of each other. And I'm still here, and I'm not going anywhere. And this business is growing, and now it's time for me to start sharing that wisdom that I've learned over these last years with people who want to survive, face the fear, jump off the cliff, and do the same thing.
Nice. I love that. I love that. And, you know, I love that you shared your challenge out of the gate. And you know why? Because I think when people learn that about you, Lindy, they know that when you share what you share, you know, in all the future radio shows and, you know, whenever you're working with somebody, coaching with them, they will know that you walk your talk. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts that we can show someone. In fact, I had a coaching client this morning, and I shared something personally, and he said to me, Christine, that's why I like you as my coach, because you've been there and done it. And I know when you say it to me, you have the experience of it. So what a gift you are going to be to all of our listeners with your capacity around being unstoppable and the advertising and marketing. I'm super excited to learn more. And I think I know a lot, but I know that you've got a lot to share with all of us. So whoop, whoop, we are lucky here on the network. Oh, I love what Wade said. Yeah, I love what Wade says in the chat room. He said, Lindy has an amazing sense of style that she isn't afraid to infuse in every aspect of her life, from motherhood to business. Well, Wade, please
Aww.
stay with us and come back again and again, Wade. I love hearing things like that. That is amazing. So,
thank you,
Lindy, when you were a young little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh my gosh, Olivia Newton-John.
Come on, tell the truth. Really? Did you have the leg? What did you call those socks?
You wanted honesty.
Put up the leg? Yes.
Oh my gosh, the leg warmers, of course. No, let me tell you, when Olivia Newton-John's album came out in 1978, it was totally hot. And Grease, the movie, came out that same year, and I was 6. And I had a girl crush on Olivia Newton-John, and I wanted to be a singer. I used to get in my parents' basement, and we had couches, and I would flip up the cushions, and I would, turn on the record. It was my little 45 record player, and I would put the record on, and I would, present myself out of this couch cushion fortress as Olivia Newton-John, and I would sing at the top of my lungs. That is what I wanted to be when I was a kid. Someday I'll sing.
If you and I ever see each other physically in person, because we've met online and have yet to see each other physically in person, but if we do, you and I are going out karaokeing, and we are going to do an Olivia Newton-John song.
Let's do it. I still have both of these albums sitting over here on my bookshelf, by the way. Oh my heavens!
But
yes, of course.
Do you have the leg warmer?
Do I have?
Still?
I imagine I can borrow some from my daughter. That's a trend that's coming back.
I'm sure it is.
Oh my heavens!
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That is so cool. So, what was it about Olivia Newton-John? And this is an interesting question that's coming through. What was it about her that contributes to the woman that you've become?
Oh wow, her sense of style, her timelessness. Are you kidding? She never ever goes out of style, even today. To see her and John Travolta, I know you've seen the video online, her and John Travolta at a recent concert singing the song from Grease. It's hard not to love a woman who can go through the challenges that she's gone through in life and come out the other side still singing. How many of us can say that? God.
Yeah. So she was your first unstoppable woman to emulate.
Yeah. Yeah. If she's listening right now, Olivia, I love you.
Oh my gosh, I feel a group hug coming on. That's so awesome. I love how the path that we have taken actually continues to show up in our future. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That is so
Absolutely.
Cool. So what is the one thing that you would invite the listeners to on this new journey of learning about being unstoppable?
Oh gosh. Don't be afraid to ask. That's what I want everybody to know. Don't ever be afraid to ask. If I can be the person you ask, or if Christine can be the person you ask, or if the lady that owns the flower shop, or the guy that owns the print shop, or the clerk at the Home Depot. Seriously, just ask. If you have a question about anything in life, share it, ask it. It starts a conversation. It brings you closer together. It takes down barriers.
Nice.
Do it. Just ask.
I love that. And it's not just about receiving knowledge. It's way more than that in the asking. That is really awesome.
It's true. It takes that fear. It takes that fear away. Don't be afraid.
And it takes the power out of the fear, right?
Takes the power out of the fear. Yep.
Beautiful. Well, Lindy, we have a lot more things that we're going to discuss today, but we're already up to our first commercial break. Right?
Time flies when you're having fun.
So we would love for everybody to stick around and come back and learn all about what it is about becoming unstoppable with our wonderful host, Lindy Chaffin Start, here on her debut show on the Inspired Choices Network. So we will be right back where we can talk more about what does being unstoppable mean to you. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
We all wish we had a few extra hours and a few less things to do in our hurried days. By tuning into Unstoppable, hosted by life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start, you'll hear success stories of how other entrepreneurs have uncovered their passions and learned to live a balanced, purposeful life. You'll receive tips and tools to market and grow your business, wrangle the chaos, and design the life you've dreamt of. Learn how to be unstoppable by tuning in to InspiredChoicesNetwork.com every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. This is Unstoppable with life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start. If you have a question about marketing your small business or finding balance as an entrepreneur, or you're just trying to get up the courage to do your own thing, let Lindy know. You can call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now, back to Unstoppable.
All right, everyone, welcome back. You are listening to Unstoppable. My name is Christine McIver, and I am interviewing on the debut show with our host, Lindy Chaffin Start, and we are talking about what does being unstoppable mean to you. Of course, if you'd like to miss in the chat room, please do at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com, or you can call in at 815-880-8255 in the U.S., Canada, 613-800-8736, or Skype us at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. So, Lindy, how you doing? First part of your show, you're breathing. Good.
Breathing.
I'm so glad. Breathing.
Just keep
good.
breathing.
Awesome. So, I've got a question for you. Why radio?
Why radio?
I know that's an odd question.
Oh, gosh.
I know that's an odd question coming from the owner, but why radio?
Why radio, Christine? Because you were so convincing over Skype. No, it wasn't just that. You know, this has been, I've actually had friends ask me that question, and my answer has been, you ready? Because I want to put my SMENUS to work.
You want to put your what to work?
My SMENUS, not my penis, my SMENUS. So, see, I knew you'd catch on in a minute. I knew it. My SMENUS, my subject matter expert. I am what I do. That's all there is to it. And when I have clients who ask questions about things, I would love to be able to go back and send them a link to a show we've done and say, hey, check this out. We addressed this and more questions came up, and it might answer all of those little things that are tickling the back of your mind. So that's kind of why I chose radio. I think it's a great avenue for your marketing. It is something that lives on forever. You get to have some fun every week. You get to share your knowledge with the world, and people listen.
Right.
Not because they're tethered to their desk, but because they want to. So,
right.
That's why.
That's very, very cool. SMENUS. That's spelled, if anybody's wondering, SMENESS. I love that. Okay, I'm so cool. I'm so glad that I learned something new today. That is so awesome. I'm going to start using that. So
you get to have a SMENUS too.
SMENUS. I get to have a SMENUS. I like it. So tell me,
absolutely.
Let's talk about the unstoppable piece. So what is the biggest sacrifice you've made in starting your own business? Because a lot of people want to start their business and then they go, oh, yeah, but. I mean, I talk to them, you talk to them. What is the biggest sacrifice that you've made in starting your own business?
Having a cell phone that only my friends call me on. Vacations where I don't check in. Yeah, seriously. No, I'm teasing. I honestly think the gains far outweigh the sacrifices. When I started this business, actually just incorporated a couple of years ago. I was freelance for a long time before that. And when I started this business as a small business owner, I started looking at all of the different marketing, finance, management, HR, the whole kit and caboodle, right? And there were all these things. There's this huge learning curve. You've got all this stuff that you have to learn. And when I was doing that, I just kind of decided as I was going along that I wanted to create a business that could help other small business owners do the same thing I was trying to do and do it in one space. So I've had a lot of fun putting that together. And in the course of doing that, I've made a lot of great friends. I've gotten some terrific clients in this deal that I'm very proud to call clients. And the biggest thing is just having the time, like living up to the promise that I made my daughter when she was born, and that was staying home so that I could be here for her if she ever needed me. And I have been here every single day she was born, no matter what I was faced with.
Nice. That is awesome. That is so awesome. The interesting thing about having your own business is, yes, there are some sacrifices, but there are all of those absolutely juicy, amazing pieces of our business. So tell us what is juicy and amazing about your business for you.
Juicy and amazing about my business. My goodness, there's so many things. I guess one of my favorite things, and this is just me being a geek, is new technology. I love new technology that comes in and exploring that. IP targeting is one of my favorite new fiddle with. I love it. I love it.
I got to hear this
right? One. I know. Well, we'll talk about that on another show. This is just a meet and greet, girl.
Awesome.
So I love IP targeting. I love video. I love anything. Video platforms are huge. I mean, if you haven't gotten on the video bandwagon, let me tell you, it's going to pass you by. You need to take advantage of this medium and get in there. And I love all of the little platforms that come out and you can make the little snippet videos to go up on your social media. Those are all well and good, but there are so many avenues to telling your story through video. And using those are they're critical. You want to tell your story. You want to have your video top of funnel on your website. You want to be able to answer questions. You want to be able to provide customer service. You want to be able to give testimonials or product demonstrations all through video. You can do that on your website. You can do it in social media. You can do it in your presentations personally. So those are the fun things to me. Yeah.
I can feel your excitement in the technology piece, and that must be such a beautiful gift for your clients, because I know that when somebody's excited about something and they're passionate about it, they become such a massive resource for the people that they teach.
Yes, I am very passionate about the things that I do, and I think that comes across. But I'm also very honest. So if somebody tries something and I say, what do you think about this? I'm not going to lie to them. So if they did an amazing job, awesome and amazing. If they have tweaks, I'm happy to share those too. Because I think putting your best foot out there, and not everybody, I'm going to tell you right now, not everybody is a designer, not everybody is a copywriter, not everybody knows how to put this color over this photograph, or how to lay out a web design. No, but not everybody knows. This is not inherent to everyone. you have to
that's
understand
really cool.
the subtleties of it.
It's really cool that you say this, because I think that there are a lot of amazing resources out there for us to learn our tools and to learn how to, like, let's talk about video, because you've referred to video.
Sure.
There are a lot of different tools and apps out there that can utilize, and creators of those things try to make it so easy for us to create the videos. And yet there is something about learning how to do it, and there is something about working with somebody who is gifted or who has the capacity with it to teach us the nuances that an app can't teach us, or maybe an online program just download can't teach us. And I think that there is a big, huge advantage when you work with someone one-on-one who shows you little things. It's often, I find, that some of the little things, little tricks that makes a huge difference in the creation of the products, whether it's video or audio, whatever it is. And so I think that that's a gift that you bring to your clients. I'm going to guess that is exactly what you're doing, is you're showing them beyond what a cookie cutter app can do for them.
Exactly. And I'm going to go back to the last part of the show when we were talking about how to put yourself out there by asking people. When you're looking at potential customers, you can tell them your story. You can be as passionate as you want to, but if you don't make the ask, you're not going to win the client. So eventually you have to ask. And that's one of the things in video or in any advertising medium, is that you have to put the ask out there. Will you be my client? Will you learn more now? Will you tour today? Will you, you have to make the ask. So yes, there's lots of little subtle things like that go along with this.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so at what point in your life did you learn about advertising, and what was it about that called you in?
What point in my life? I was 14, and the movie Nothing in Common with Jackie Gleason and Tom Hanks came out. And at 14, I was a huge Jackie Gleason fan, but I fell in love with Tom Hanks for that movie and the way he portrayed the advertising executive and the excitement that went along with that, and the back and forth and the creative process. And I have to be completely honest, when working in an agency, it is exactly like it was in that movie. You sit around an office trying to hit the trash can with Cheetos, talking about how to message your client. And it's absolutely fun. I wanted, from that moment forward, I wanted to work in advertising, and I was going to figure out how to do it, and I did.
That's fabulous. So cool. Oh my gosh. Tell me the name of the movie again, because if I have time this weekend, I'm gonna see if I can find it on Netflix.
Oh, you have to watch this movie. It's Nothing in Common with Jackie Gleason and Tom Hanks. My dad and I had a relationship very similar to theirs in the movie later in his life, so I can completely relate to it all over again.
Nice. And I would imagine that movie, even some of the people listening, if they watch that movie, that's going to give them an insight into you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very cool. Yeah. And my crazy creative process, tossing pencils up into the ceiling, always fun. Yes.
Guess what I just did, and I wonder how many people just did that. How many of you all looked up at your ceiling to see if you could toss a pencil? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, so we are actually up to our second break of the show. So we have got more questions. We love the comments. I'm going to read some of the comments in the chat room when we get back. But if you've got any questions, any comments that you would like to make, you can call in, or you can Skype us, or you can join us in the chat room, and we would love to hear from you. So you are listening to Unstoppable with Lindy Chaffin Start and myself, Christine McIver, interviewing her on her debut show. We are going to be back right after this short commercial break, and we're going to continue talking about what does being unstoppable mean to you. We'll be right back.
We all wish we had a few extra hours and a few less things to do in our hurried days. By tuning into Unstoppable, hosted by life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start, you'll hear success stories of how other entrepreneurs have uncovered their passions and learned to live a balanced, purposeful life. You'll receive tips and tools to market and grow your business, wrangle the chaos, and design the life you've dreamt of. Learn how to be unstoppable by tuning in to InspiredChoicesNetwork.com every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. This is Unstoppable with life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start. If you have a question about marketing your small business or finding balance as an entrepreneur, or you're just trying to get up the courage to do your own thing, let Lindy know. You can call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now, back to Unstoppable.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've just joined us, you definitely want to go back and listen to the beginning part of the show. And if you're catching the replay, we would love to hear from you. You can always send an email to Lindy and ask questions or comments. Lindy, what is your email address?
My email address is Lindy, Lindy, Chaffin, Chaffin, that's F as in fish or Frank, at att.net, or you can reach me through my website at unstoppablestart.com.
I love that. Unstoppable Start. That's so cool. So, Lindy, before we get back into the show, tell me, do you have any projects coming up? Do you have any events that you're creating? What are you doing in your business now you want to tell all the listeners about?
Wow. Well, I have a lot going on right now, but I think my biggest thing is offering up some time to those people who are on the fence about starting a small business, or they've started a small business and can't really get any traction with their marketing, or they're not feeling the love, we'll say, to just shoot me a message through the website. Again, it's www.unstoppablestart.com, and just request a 30-minute coaching call, and let's talk through what you're faced with and see if we can figure out ways that either I can help you get started or ways that you can get your unstoppable start all on your own. So that's my biggest thing right now.
Very cool. That's awesome. So tell me something. What does the world need more of?
What?
As it pertains to... Is it? What is it?
Oh, it is easy. It's very easy. The world needs more patience, tolerance, and understanding.
Patience,
those are big words, aren't they?
Understanding. Yeah. PTA.
Yes. Seriously. And I mean, life has just gotten so out of control. The American dream is insane. The picture we started painting of that 70 years ago has changed. And we need to be patient with ourselves and each other, We need to be tolerant of ourselves and the mistakes we make, and tolerant of each other. And we need to be more apathetic. We need to understand what everybody else is going through. Empathetic, sorry. My brain, the chat room, it's all very distracting.
It is. It's busy.
It's busy. But we have to be more empathetic. We have to be able to put ourselves in other people's shoes and try to understand where they're coming from. People aren't out to get us, and we're not out to get people. It's just people trying to reside in the same space and understand each other. So, PTU, baby. PTU.
PTA. Yeah, right, PTU. Gosh. I think you said something earlier about things are different now.
Yeah.
Things are very different. If you were a small business owner, even if you started 10 years ago, if you started your business 10 years ago, this year I'm celebrating my 10-year anniversary for my business, and it's so different today than it was 10 years ago. And I think we need to keep that in mind, because if you were listening to perhaps someone else, the previous generation that were in their own businesses, or even somebody that started a business 10 years ago and they're no longer in their business, it's a different world today in your own business than it was in the past. What do you see, Lindy, that's different from, let's say, the last generation, them being in their own business, to us in the world today that are entrepreneurs?
Well, again, there's a huge learning curve here. Years ago, I have a client that I work with right now. When he started his business years ago, he used the Yellow Pages. So he named his business where he would be at the very top of the Yellow Pages, right? So with everything having an online presence now, it's not done alphabetically. You're not going to be at the top of the Yellow Pages under your category. Now you have to have an online presence that, your SEO has to support everything that you do online. Your presence has to support everything you do. Your brand has to be a part of everything you do. It has to be consistent. Otherwise, you will not be recognized. So that's the biggest thing that I see is the way that we did business then and the way that we do business now, that there are a lot more steps, and it's not as easy to get to the top of the food chain. It's not. You got a lot of legwork to do. You got a lot of legwork to do.
How much do you infuse? It's very different today than it was previously. There is a different way of stretching our muscles in being seen and being present and growing our business. What do you find in doing what you do fun? Like, what is it about the SEOs, about online marketing and advertising, about being present with people in different, platforms? What is it that you find that's fun about that?
Seeing them get to the top. That makes me really happy. When you do the work and you do the research and the keywords exist and you know those keywords are the keywords that people are going to use to search you up, and you use keywords, you find that business on page 1 at the top of page 1. That's when it's fun. That's when I go, haha, job well done. Yay. It really is. That's fun. It's exciting. And I love telling people stories. I love finding different ways to have people tell their stories. So all of that is just grand fun to me. I think the story behind the business oftentimes is more important than the product. I mean,
right.
It's critical
initially
to be
out of the gate.
Yeah. So, hey, can I jump back in and answer a question from a listener real quick? Would that be all right?
Are you kidding? This is your show, girl. You can do anything you want.
Well, we'll circle back to video just very quickly because Wade, a listener somewhere in these United States, I believe, asked, when creating video, do you do the editing yourself or do you use a third-party vendor? That is a very good question, Wade. Thank you. I like to do the editing myself. I love putting story together. I love doing book trailers, and I love, like I said, telling the story of small businesses all over. So I like to have my hands on that part. I tend to have a pretty good vision, and I am a whiz with Camtasia, so I just well in there and do the work. But yeah, I do all of that myself. Thank you for asking.
Nice. That's awesome. And is that something that you teach people in your business, or is that something a service that you offer?
If somebody is up for taking on video editing, I would be more than happy to show them the ins and outs of doing that. It takes a touch. But if they don't want to, it's also something that I'm happy to do for them.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah. And Wade is asking, what software do you use for video editing?
Wade, Camtasia is my go-to. If you're not familiar with this, check it out online. Camtasia.
I've never heard of Camtasia. Very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's easy to use. It's fun to use. You can get down, take things apart and put them back together again. It's great. I love it.
Nice. I'm going to look into that too, because I like doing video editing myself.
Wonderful.
So tell me, we're talking about Unstoppable today and how to become unstoppable. What is your, when you hit a wall or you hit a rut, what's your go-to when you're needing that pickup or you're needing more inspiration? What do you do, Lindy?
That is a very good question, Christine. Thank you. I am a person who has to get out of my space and get out of my own way. So I will get out in the world and walk in what I call walk in gratitude. I walk in gratitude. And I really try to do this every day, just to that's the place I go in the morning. After I drop my daughter off, I go to the park and I try to get at least 2 miles in before I come to the office. And every step I take, I thank God and the universe and my guides and my angels and whoever else is out there making this journey possible. I say thank you for every bit of it. Thank you for today. Thank you for the sun coming up, the green trees, the green grass, my beautiful daughter, our home, a glass of wine.
Amen.
Yeah, my wonderful clients and my wonderful friends and the people that protect us every day, the police officers and the firemen and the EMTs. I am always walking in gratitude for everything and everyone that makes this life possible, even if it's the secretary at the water company. Sprinkle a little love on her too. So always walking in gratitude. Thank you for everything that you provide. That's how I do it.
And
that's my inspiration.
Yeah.
That shifts my energy, and it usually opens everything up, and the ideas just flow. Yep.
I love it.
Walking
gratitude.
So
we're going to go for our third break in a moment. Before we do, I'd love to know, what is your mantra? What's the mantra that you hold close to you?
Be unstoppable, of course.
Okay, I didn't know that answer, but it's pretty obvious.
Be unstoppable. Yes, you recite it. Recite it every day. Be unstoppable. What's stopping you? Get out there. Ask the questions. Be unstoppable. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, everyone, we're going to go to our final break of the show. You are listening to Unstoppable with our newest host, Lindy Chaffin Start. When we get back, we're going to wrap this show up and call it complete. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We all wish we had a few extra hours and a few less things to do in our hurried days. By tuning into Unstoppable, hosted by life purpose coach and marketing maven Lindy Chaffin Start, you'll hear success stories of how other entrepreneurs have uncovered their passions and learned to live a balanced, purposeful life. You'll receive tips and tools to market and grow your business, wrangle the chaos, and design the life you've dreamt of. Learn how to be unstoppable by tuning in to InspiredChoicesNetwork.com every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. This is Unstoppable with life purpose coach and marketing maven, Lindy Chaffin Start. If you have a question about marketing your small business or finding balance as an entrepreneur, or you're just trying to get up the courage to do your own thing, let Lindy know. You can call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now, back to Unstoppable.
And welcome back, everybody. This is Lindy Chaffin Start, your host, and it's been a great so far. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to pop into the chat room here at Inspired Choices Network. I've had great fun with Christine today. And next week, we're going to be talking about being authentic, when and when not to use formula, and how that translates into your marketing. If you have questions you'd like answered around being authentic, visit my website at www.unstoppablestart.com and submit them through the contact form. Now, Christine, let's finish strong. What's your next question?
Let's finish strong. Oh, she just threw the challenge down. I love it.
I did. The gauntlet.
Okay. All right. How many years have you been in business now, Lindy?
Oh, my gosh. I have worked for myself in some way, shape, or form since 1998. So how many years is that, 20? It's been a minute.
Yeah. Good for you. That's fabulous. Yeah. Okay. So knowing what you know now, looking back on these 20 years of being in business, what would you do different?
Ooh, what would I do differently? Oh, I would have let go of that fear a lot sooner than I did.
What were you afraid of?
You go through the metamorphosis, right? The caterpillar to the butterfly. You always do. Everybody does. You go through life, and they say it gets better and better every decade. You know, your 20s, you're living it up. Your 30s, you start to learn the lessons and settle down. Your 40s, it gets easy. You don't care what people think. You just kind of keep going. I wish I would have let go of that fear of worrying about what everybody thought, worrying about the failure, worrying about those little things that can be overcome. I mean, even if I do, today, I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this a long time, and I still screw up. There's no way around it. It doesn't matter. I went to post something for a client the other day, and I hit enter by accident, didn't realize I was still in the box where I could hit enter and it would post. And it went up, and it was wrong, and I was like, words came out of my mouth.
Damn, man.
And then and then I went back, and I deleted the post, and I redid it. You know, I feel horrible that it happened, but it was just my hands were working faster than my brain. And it just happened. You screw up, people. Everybody screws up, you know. Everybody does. It doesn't matter if you work for somebody or you work for yourself. If you're raising a kid, if you're taking care of elderly parents, you're going to screw up. But you have to do it. You have to get up in the morning and you have to put your pants on. Yeah.
Right. You do. So when you quote unquote screw up, and that's a judgment, and I'm going to call bullshit on it's a screw up. However, when you screw up, I know that's the way to put it. When you quote unquote screw up, and you're in that space that you're just talking about, where you just give it up, like you give up that fear and you just do it. Mm-hmm. What happens for you when you go, oh, I screwed up? What happens today that's different for you than happened when you first started out?
Well, you recognize where you made the mistake a lot sooner than you did 20 years ago. That's for sure.
Right.
And it's a lot easier. I find in life it's a lot easier to apologize. Like if you hurt someone or you did something that could be perceived as wrong, and I get where you're coming from on the screw up thing. But it's all about perceptions, right? So if you do something that could be perceived as wrong, you jump in faster and you make amends faster. You don't sit on it, you don't wait, you don't ignore it, because you know the healing process has to begin for everybody, and that includes you. You have to forgive yourself for messing up, right? So that's what's
fear. So what I'm hearing you say is that the fear can actually paralyze us or send us down a rabbit hole that keeps the quote-unquote screw-up kind of living and breathing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you get shower every morning and you hear the voice in your head going, it wasn't their fault, it was your fault, it wasn't your fault, it was their fault, they shouldn't have done that. You know, you've always got that inner dialogue that's there, and if you don't address it, if you don't ask for forgiveness or make amends or do whatever it is you have to do to get past that, get over the fear, get over the hump, and get to the other side, then that little voice is always going to be there. I'd rather live without that little voice bugging me, nagging me, telling me what I did wrong. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. So, what are you? Yeah, it so does. So, what are you afraid of today that you're looking to change?
Not being able to keep up. Honestly, I mean, the technology. Let's look at the generations that are coming up behind us. You know, you and I are here in this space, and we both serve clients in this space, right? But the technology for the generations that are behind us, the millennials and the Gen Zs, that stuff moves faster than the speed of light, and it is so hard to keep up with. So a lot of that, I have a lot of fear around that, not being able to stay relevant. But by God, I'm going to keep going. I mean, I started programming when I was 12.
I think that voice in your head needs to be quieted, because you've already shared with us things, and I'm going to say that I stay ahead of the curve, above most people with technology, and you taught me things today. So you, my friend, in my personal point of view, are ahead of the curve. So I think that fear is BS. I really, really do. So, Lindy, I honestly thought that you were going to say one of your fears is to be successful on the radio. And I had an answer to that, and I'm going to say it. You've done fabulous today.
Thank you.
You've done so fabulous. Like, it went so easeful, and I am so excited about, your future shows. I'm seeing what you're creating ahead of everyone else right at the moment, and it's exciting to see what you're going to be sharing with all of us, and the ease to listening to you. It's a gift. It truly is a gift to all of us. So thank you so much for showing up, and thank you so much for choosing to be a voice in the world for all of us to learn from. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. It means the world coming from you, the master of this domain and many others. I am grateful for you and for Inspired Choices and all of our listeners. I think it's just amazing, and let's do it again next week.
Let's do it again next week. Okay, my friends, we've got a few minutes. Thank you. Be sure to come back and listen. You can check all the replays out in the network, on Spotify, on iTunes, everywhere. And we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for being Inspired Choices Network's most valuable asset, and for tuning in to Unstoppable. Host Lindy Chaffin Start will return next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time, with more valuable tips to support you and your small business. Until then, be unstoppable.